Welcome students and welcome to my channel Sequential Biology. In this video we will discuss about innate immunity and its different components of innate immunity. Okay, so before going to study about innate immunity, first we should know the lines of our immunological system. Actually, immunity means protection from harmful disease causing organism. In our body, like any other system like digestive system, respiratory system or circulatory system, immunological system is also another system and which is present in only in case of vertebrates. Okay, and this system protect us from harmful pathogen. This harmful pathogen may be viruses, this harmful pathogen may be bacteria, a fungi or any helminth, and they are trying to enter into our body and causes many difficulties in our body, or they are trying to cause different type of disease. But our immunological system always protect us from invading this pathogen. Okay, so whenever any pathogen is tried to enter into our body, it must be crossed the two line of defense. One is the first line of defense, and this first line of defense is called innate immunity, and another is second line of defense. So whenever any pathogen, suppose these are the pathogen, and this pathogen tries to enter from the first line of defense. So this is the first line of defense or innate immunity, and if they cross the first line of defense, then they are exposed to the second line of defense. Many pathogen or harmful organisms died in this first line of defense, that is, they cannot enter into our body because they cannot crosses this first line of defense. And we will discuss in these classes that which mechanism help us to prevent the entry of these pathogenic microorganisms. Okay, but if they crosses this first line of defense, they are exposed to the second line of defense, and in the second line of defense is called the acquired immunity. In the next classes we will discuss about this second line of defense or acquired immunity. But if this pathogen can crosses both these lines, then they will causes disease. Okay, so if pathogen escape from this two defense line, then the disease will be caused. And here we will discuss about first line of defense or innate immunity. Innate immunity is the first line of defense, and this is non-specific. That is, innate immunity may act in different type of pathogen. They may act in any kinds of pathogen, and for this reason they are known as non-specific immunity. So they can act against all types of pathogen. Okay, then what are the component of this innate immunity? The first component is the anatomical barrier, and we know that our skin serves as an anatomical barrier. That is, the skin have different type of layers, the epidermis, dermis. So there are many different layers in our body, and in epidermis, stratum corneum, lucidum, spinosum, granulosum, there are different layers of body. So this the pathogenic microorganisms cannot crosses these different layers. Okay, so skin serve as an anatomical barrier. Skin epidermis is waxy. The outer layer of the skin is known as epidermis, and this is waxy, so pathogen cannot attach with it. Okay, so maximum pathogen cannot attach with this skin because the skin epidermis is waxy. And apart from this, just below the skin the dermis is present. So this is epidermis, and below the skin the dermis is present, and this dermis secrete lactic acid. These components are very important. So the dermis secrete lactic acid and the fatty acid, so maintain the acidic pH. The skin pH remains 3 to 5, that is, they are acidic. Since this is less than 7, so the skin pH is always acidic, and many bacteria cannot survive in this acidic pH. Okay, respiratory, urinogenital and digestive tract also contain the epithelial cell. So these are the epithelial cell, and in the epithelial cell there are present many cilia. So they are the ciliated epithelial cell, and whenever any pathogen trying to enter into this respiratory system or urinogenital system or digestive tract, so this cilia beat, and this causes the removal of this pathogen. This is also another important of anatomical barrier. Then respiratory, urinogenital and digestive tract contain epithelial cell and the mucous membrane, and this specialized structure pathogen will be entangled. Lower region also contains ciliated cell which beat and the pathogen come outside. Then these two components form the anatomical barrier. So first is the skin epidermis, which is waxy, and many pathogen cannot attach with the skin due to its waxy nature, and also the dermis is acidic, so many bacteria died in this acidic medium. And in different system you have seen that the ciliated epithelium cell, the beating of the cilia remove this pathogen. Next component of immunological system or innate immunity is physiological barrier. And here the stomach pH is 3. We know that a stomach secrete HCl, and this causes acidic nature inside stomach, and this pH, in this acidic pH, many pathogen will be died. And apart from these 3 most important chemicals are responsible for physiological barrier. These are very important. Okay, so first component is the lysozyme. Lysozyme found in tears, saliva, that break peptidoglycan of bacterial cell wall. You know, in the bacterial cell wall, a special type of component, the peptidoglycan, which is made up of N-acetyl muramic acid and N-acetyl glucosamine. So this lysozyme causes the break of this bacterial cell wall and so causes death of bacteria. And virus is also another important harmful component, and this causes many disease, you know. Okay, but whenever any virus attack a cell, then this cell is known as viral infected cell, and this viral infected cell secrete a special type of chemical which is known as interferon, and due to release of this interferon protect the normal cell. Okay, so viral infected cell synthesize the interferon, this combine adjacent healthy cell and protect against the bacteria. And here you can see this is the viral infected cell, and this viral infected cell secrete interferon, and this interferon binds with this healthy cell, and so any viruses which are trying to attack this healthy cell, they cannot attack this healthy cell because the interferon coating of this interferon causes elimination of this virus, so the healthy cell remains healthy. Okay, and the last component is the complement system, the 20 types of plasma protein, and this remains inactive, and whenever any bacteria enters into our body, then this 20 plasma protein becomes active, and this causes the development of membrane attack complex, and this membrane attack complex attack the bacterial cell wall. So, and thus by this way this membrane attack complex kill the bacteria. Okay, because this will causes breakdown of bacterial cell wall. Another component of our immunological system or innate immunological system is phagocytic barrier. So whenever any pathogen enters into our body, and in our blood there are present phagocytic cell, usually WBC serve as this phagocytic cell. So macrophage, monocyte, neutrophil are phagocytic cell. These examples are very important. Remember, macrophage, monocyte and neutrophil serve as the phagocytic cell, and the food of this phagocytic cell are pathogenic bacteria. Okay, whenever any microbes enters into our body, the phagocytic cell comes towards these microbes. Okay, and they causes the engulfment of these microbes by process of phagocytosis. Actually, they develop the pseudopodia around these microbes, and then these microbes is covered by phagocytic vesicle. Okay, so this is the phagocytic vesicles, and in the macrophage there are present the lysosome, and this phagocytic vesicle combined with this lysosome, and this will causes the formation of phagolysosome. Okay, and in lysosome, you know, many hydrolytic enzymes are present, and this hydrolytic enzyme causes the death of these pathogenic microbes. And in the phagolysosome, the microbes are digested, and the important component of these microbes are absorbed by this phagocytic cell, that is the proteins or any other component are absorbed in the protoplasm of this phagocytic cell. Okay, so these components are food of this phagocytic cell, and the remaining portion is released from this phagocytic cell, right? So this is the process of removal of pathogenic microorganisms by phagocytic barrier. And actually this phagocytic cell or the macrophage, monocyte or neutrophil is not specific for specific type of pathogen, and they can act against any type of pathogenic microorganism. So this is an important component of our innate immunological system. Okay, last mechanism by which any pathogenic microorganisms are removed from our body is the inflammatory barrier. So this is the final mechanism by which our innate immunological system acts against any pathogenic microorganism. Okay, suppose in our skin there are developed any wound. Okay, so through this wound many bacteria enters into our skin. Okay, and so this wound region causes the release of many vasoactive and the chemotactic factor, and this vasoactive and the chemotactic factor attract many phagocytic cell. And here this is blood vessels, and in this blood vessels the WBC or the phagocytic cell actually move through these blood vessels, and whenever any vasoactive or the chemotactic factor are released from our wound, then this WBC or the phagocytic cell attached with these blood vessels, and this process is known as margination. Okay, and after then in between the endothelial cell of these blood vessels, this phagocytic cell actually come out from these blood vessels, and this process is known as extravasation. Okay, and after then they comes towards this wound site, and where the many pathogenic bacteria is present, and then this phagocytic cell engulf this bacteria and remove this bacteria. Then these are the basic mechanism of our innate immunological system, right? So this component of our immunological system are very, very important, and especially you should remember about different chemicals of our innate immunological system, that is the lysozyme, interferon and the complement, and their function. These are very, very important in any examination point of view. Okay, and hope you have understand about innate immunological system, and in the next classes we will discuss about second line of defense, that is the acquired immunity. So thank you, and that's it.